Yo, traveling on back with another video. For some of you who follow my channel, you know that I am not in Seoul, South Korea anymore. I am in my hometown that I grew up in and just visiting my mom, visiting my siblings. And it's good to just come back, spend time with family. I've been much busier than I anticipated. And I'll tell you what, I tried to take some videos on my travels, but man, it is difficult to record while you're exhausted. The night before I flew out from Seoul to California, I had gotten like an hour and a half sleep. I didn't sleep at all on the airplane, got to Los Angeles, spent the day with my brother-in-law and my mother-in-law. And then that night we flew out to the East Coast. We went to Charlotte just for a layover and then to Indiana. And I didn't really sleep at all on that flight. So I basically got like 2.5 hours of sleep in like almost 3 days. And every ounce of me wanted to make videos on that trip. But yeah, I was exhausted. Just exhausted. So major props to those of you who can do travel and record and be upbeat and energetic. Yeah, I think this old man, yeah, I just don't have the energy to do that anymore. But yeah, I am back. I am using the DJI Pocket 3. I've got it on an auto setting with the D-Log M. That's for my camera folk. So yeah, I'm in a spot where I actually used to go as a teenager. I'll show you some B-roll. But this is like, I think the highest point, or at least one of the highest points in my small little southern Indiana town. And yeah, I used to come up here after work at night during my high school days. And I just used to chill up here on my own. And I would just be deep in my thoughts, thinking about the future, wondering about the future, looking forward to getting out of this town, as most teenagers do in small towns. And yeah, so I spent a lot of time on this little hill. I went around and did some B-roll of just a small town to give you a little perspective. I went over to the town square where the courthouse is, and they've made it really festive during this, I guess, holiday Christmas season. So it's kind of cool. They did a lot of renovations since I was a teenager. And yeah, so I also went over to my high school where I graduated, but they've done a lot of renovation to the basically the facade of the building. It looks a lot nicer. And I think they've added a lot to the building. So there's a lot more square footage now from that high school that I used to go to. That gym is a place where I did a lot of wrestling matches. And I also went by the old football field where I played a lot of football games, did some track competitions there. So that brought back a lot of memories. Yeah, I mean, it's very nostalgic. Unfortunately, all my childhood friends from Southern Indiana have passed. I talked about that in a different video, but my closest friend growing up here in my small town, sadly, he took his life about 6 years ago. I had another friend, childhood friend that I grew up with. He died from a drunk driver when he was in his 20s, and then another friend who killed himself in his 30s. And I also have a cousin I grew up with here in this small town. I was a senior, he was a junior in high school, and he took his life. So yeah, I don't really have many roots anymore in terms of friendships. Of course, there's people I'm sure that I know. This is only one high school in this town. But yeah, I don't really make an effort to reach out to other people. But yeah, you know, I think, you know, I don't know, tell me how you guys feel. Just coming back to your roots. Yeah, there's a lot of like, when I was in my 20s, the thought of coming back to my roots wasn't I guess not my roots, because my roots are really in Korea, where I was born and lived there for over 3 years. But coming back to this small town, if you don't know yet, I was adopted. So I was one of a very small minority in a predominantly Caucasian, German, American descent town. It had about 10,000 people in the time that I grew up. I think it's now like at 15,000. Yeah, I'll show a picture of the McDonald's actually my second job when I was 16 years old. I worked at McDonald's. Yeah, good stuff. But yeah, I feel like it's good to come back to where I grew up, just because it gives me perspective on where I have advanced and how I have evolved over time, you know. And even though this was, I would say, an arduous time of my life here in this small town, it really did shape me. It really helped me build character and empathy, and it gave me a longing to understand life, because I was so different growing up in the 70s and 80s in this small town. And that really kind of was I guess in a way, the guiding light to coming to my faith. And it helped me understand that I needed something more than just what I had around me. So yeah, this experience was good for me. I mean, it wasn't something that was ideal, but in the end, after it's all said and done, the struggles actually really helped shape me to be the person that I am today. Ooh, looks like I'm shaking the camera a little bit. But yeah, I appreciate it now that now in my 50s. You know, I grew up here in my teenage years, so it hasn't really changed that much, this small little town. Yeah, I mean, it really hasn't changed much. I mean, there's some new infrastructure in different parts of the town, but yeah, it's weird to be back. Yeah, my mom, the one who adopted me, she lives in the same house, the house that I grew up in. So it's weird to be back in that house. Fortunately, I'm with my wife. My wife did come with me, so I'm not by myself. But yeah, it's interesting always coming back to this town. But it gives me a good perspective in life, and it's something that I think is, I guess, a good thing for us every once in a while, right, in life, to go back, and whether it's physically going back or emotionally, mentally going back and remembering where you came from. I think that's something that a lot of us want to forget or not think about, or try to, just try to leave it out of our life. But I think it is important to remember the struggles and how those struggles shaped us. And I don't think there's obviously any ideal situation, no matter what background you have, whether you were privileged or you were unprivileged. We all have our struggles. I think to every person, even if you were born with a silver spoon, you have your struggles. And so I think that I think it's good. Yeah. Anyways, I do plan on making some more videos. I do have a sponsored video I'm going to do. I got another sponsor. So Tellison was my previous sponsor. I have another sponsor. I'll be getting that video out. I did make that footage when I was still in Korea, but I wanted to post that a little bit later. But yeah, it's cool getting sponsors. That's all because of you. And yeah, I will try to get some more videos out, some more, I guess, vlogs, right? But I've been seeing one of my friends posting about the Action 5, and that kind of gave me the itch to do a little bit more camera comparisons and whatnot. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, brought all the computer equipment to do some editing, and yeah, I just wanted to reach out to you all. Hope you all are doing well, and I'll get hopefully to making some more videos. But family it's been important to give my family the priority. But I didn't want to try to throw this video in without too much editing. Anyway, I'm really missing all my people back in Seoul, my church people. Man, I miss you all like big time. Yeah, it's tough to be away from you all. You guys mean so much. But in the meantime, you all, thank you so much for checking out the video. I hope you all are doing well wherever you're at. And yeah, if you've gotten this far, let me know down in the video where you are all from. But in the meantime, oh yeah, this is a small southern Indiana town that I'm in. Anyway, in the meantime, you all, thank you so much for checking out the video. God bless. Peace.